Good morning. Welcome. This is Redzone in the UK with Scouts and Christian. Today, we're going to pregame the Philadelphia Eagles, but we're not going to take too long on it because all of this hinges, the season hinges on us beating the Philadelphia Eagles. How much sense does that make?
Wake up. Wake up. Get up. Get up. It's... Wake up. Wake up. Get up. Get up.
Welcome, Scouts. It
Hello,
all
sir.
hinges.
How are we?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay, man. I'm okay. I'm a little worried about today, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. We got all these reports coming out. You hear local guys, you hear this person, some media guy, but now Shefty, right? Shefty has tweeted out that everything hinges on this game against the Philadelphia Eagles if we're going to be sellers or buyers come Sunday night or Monday morning.
We're gonna know. We're gonna know at that point. Yeah, I mean, it's a scary proposition. Yeah, man. I've already seen a couple of things, like Montez Sweat's already took down. He's not a Washington Commander anymore, and the social media handles, and yeah. So, so I was like, okay, then maybe he's on his way out, and there's loads of different rumors going around, and I'm just, it's so important this game this week.
Yeah. Hey, Juan is ready. Ron is pumped and ready. He's already getting ready for the tailgate. He's up with us this morning. Appreciate you, Juan. I'll see you a little later. But how did we get here? And this doesn't seem like a good strategy. I don't know. We usually don't have leaks coming out of Ashburn. That's been one good thing about the Ron regime is that there are not a ton of leaks coming out of Ashburn. But this is Shefty. So Shefty is just not guessing or he's getting it from someone in that building. And this kind of seems like a do your job type message a few weeks ago. But like you said, you got Montez taking everything out of social media handles. The trades by him coming up. Chase said the other day, look, I'm used to it. I mean, it happens every year, but this year is a little different because it's contract years. Like, why would a player go out there and give it his all if he's not going to be here Monday morning?
Exactly. So why? It takes a very, very professional person to be able to do that, and I just don't, because of how inconsistent our players tend to be. I think I'm not saying they're unprofessional at all. I'm just saying that motivation's always been a problem, if that makes sense. So if the kind of if you know that high level chance you're going to be traded the next day, what's the point in putting in any effort? Because you don't want to get hurt for your new team either. So why? You see what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, what should we do about that? And I think if Tez is going to be a guy who's definitely going to be traded, then he shouldn't be playing today. And because he's not going to put in the effort, because why would he? You definitely. I would. Same thing for me. If I was in this position, would you want to be getting hurt or putting yourself on the line like that when you're going the very next day to somebody else? It's no, you don't, because you want to be ready for the other team if they're picking you up. So yeah, man. I mean, I wouldn't even play him if that's the case. It's scary, man. Scary times.
Yeah. Good morning, Cash. So, and from the business, from the team side, is even another a similar risk, because if this is true and you do want to get some type of assets for them and start moving people, what if they get injured? Now you can't do that. Now you're stuck with them, and then now you have the off season. They might miss the rest of the season, so now, you're going to lose them for nothing more so, or you're going to pay them or whatever the case may be. So, and we can't really like the comp picks is really not going to work for us this year because we have so much money to spend, and we all know it's a point formula. So it's a system that's ran. You have to lose more than what you bring in. We're gonna have close to probably 100 million. I think the number was like 92 or something. The last number someone came out with, but with restructures or whatever the case may be, it may be even more. So that's also a chance that you're taking. So it's I don't know, but before we get into some keys to how we can win and not just base it off history and street killers and all that other stuff. Who else would you be willing to trade?
I'd say it depends if we're sellers or buyers. And as I say, this game will make that decision for us. If we are sellers, then I think everybody's on the table besides maybe one or two guys. As long as the compensation's good enough, we're in a whole new. We're going to be in a whole new rebuild again. Let's face it. You're gonna have a whole new staff. You're gonna have a whole new, the ownership is obviously taking over and obviously going to be more involved next season. And I can just see this team being torn up. So everybody's on the table. Even if to be fair, I feel really sorry for Terry. So for me, it's kind of like if someone offers a really good package for him, I'd let him go because not because you don't need him, of course we do, but it's a case of we're making him look so bad because we're not. But this guy should be getting all the plaudits across the NFL. He's that good, and we're not getting. He's not getting that kind of love. So, as long as for me, everybody's on the table. Besides, maybe if you want to go with Sam Howell, maybe if you think of going forward, then okay, maybe not him, but everybody else is kind of fair game as long as the compensation's right.
Yeah, that's what I think was going to end up happening. And Terry is the one that you get the divide on, because we all love Terry, but at the same time, the same people that don't want him to go, they'll say, but if he wants to go, we at least owe him that. So, and it also depends on how much of a relationship him and Magic has built so far. That depends too. And, I'm quite sure players like him, John Allen, all of those different types of players, can talk to them, hey, look, Magic or Josh Harris and those, look, we're not going to tear it all the way down. We're going to get rid of some pieces, but we're not looking to do no full rebuild. We don't want to waste no more time in your career. We're still going to play to win. We want you here to see this turnaround because like they might want to see that. They might want to see what it feels like to have competent ownership in the NFL, so they might want to stay if they're giving that choice. And I wouldn't be surprised if they want to, especially John Allen and Terry, for those boys. But other than that, like if it comes down to, they want to do a full rebuild, they want to get as many assets. I think you're right. Like, and Sam Howell, he's just going to be Sam Howell, right? If that's the case, if you getting rid of all your players, then he's definitely not going to develop. They're definitely going to go quarterback in the first round. So, because he has no one to throw the ball to if that's the case. And I think you also keep Jahan because he's young, and some of the younger players you keep.
One of the high upside ones you really want to keep, but obviously I say if someone comes in and says, "Here's 2 firsts,"
oh yeah, well,
you're going to take it on it. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean by everyone saying the compensation's good enough that everybody's on the table. I just did you see Magic putting a little tweet out last week? Very hard to win games when you only score 7 points, and it's damn true.
And not only the players get traded, but some people might be getting, fired. But again, if you're trading your players away and you fire Ron or JDI and you put EB at head coach, it's really not it's not benefiting him at all. Because now he has a team with no high profile players because everyone has been traded off. How do you expect for him to win? You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother thing. So it's so much riding on this game if the rumors are true.
100%. And I just get concerned about, we know it's not going to be Ron and all the rest of it who's going to be making the next year's picks in the draft, but the guys who are coming in have got to be hitting the ground running. They've got to be like excellent talent evaluators for their squads, because this year's draft has been awful. I mean, if you look through the draft, how many the guys who've been playing, none of them have produced, really. The only guy I feel good for about is Strongberg at the moment. He's the only guy I kind of feel like he could do something, and even then he's only playing sparingly. So it's kind of, I mean, it hasn't been a good draft class at all so far.
Yeah. So we just got to see. We got to see which way they want to go. It's a lot. But casual likes a great day to be great. Seems like not too many people care, want to win, but we don't get mini game days every year. Sorry. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're going to get at least 17. We can definitely count on that. 18, 19 may come, but you never know. But I definitely and we're let me see. It was this Michael Underwood. Appreciate you for joining. I think this may be your first time commenting. This isn't a winning season for us. Let's just be real. Yep, that's true. A lot of people feel like that, and that's what it looks like. Sometimes we got to take what it looks like and just apply it. This is not, what we've seen on the field is just not a winning. Is not a winning team. It's not a winning season.
It's a very inconsistent team, and inconsistent, and this is the mid, and this is what frustrates me the most. It's about the consistency. Is that at times when we play our best, we actually look like a really good team.
Yeah.
And but after time, we don't play at that level. And it's like, I don't understand why you don't play at that level, because you've shown that you can do it, and you can do it in different games, but you only do it for like 2 quarters or 1 quarter here and there. I don't understand. I don't understand why they can't keep that going for like a full game. So, it's a game 60 minutes, not 30. So I just kind of that's what really frustrates me more. I mean, if I understood like we were just a really bad team and we had no talent and we got smashed every week, okay, I wouldn't like it, but I can understand it. But when you've got talented players and talented team, and you're thinking, well, why can't we? And we can produce really good games. I mean, the Eagles last time we played them, I thought that was our best game, even though we lost. I thought the way we played was actually a really good game, besides the third quarter. But most of the time, I think it's kind of it just really, really annoys me, man. It just really annoys me. I don't get why we can't keep it consistent during the game. Never mind, like week to week, game to get like in game.
And that's the thing. Like, even if we do win, like, of course we'll be excited because we won, but do we still trade? I mean, are we still sellers? Because we've shown that we can be very good one week and be the worst team in the league the very next week, and I just think it's bad.
That's probably the reason why you see Tez with no social media anymore with our names on it. So, because end of the day, even if we win this game somehow, because end of the day, this is family business. It's in division game, and most of the time, it's always very close games because we know each other very well because we play each other twice a year. There's never really truly any true blowouts usually, so it's always the exception rather than the rule. So if we win this game, I think we probably still are sellers because we'll probably get beat next week.
Right.
So it's kind of like, well, yeah. And I think Tez knows that. I think he knows he's gone.
Yeah, that's the trend for sure. And it's something like you saying, like our team, we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent because, when a rumor came out yesterday, it was like 7, 8 players on there that we could trade off that other teams we want. And usually it's 2 or 3 from different teams when they doing this. So that's the disheartening thing is that there's talent all around, for sure. Let's face it, this is losing season, trading now for a second or third pick in the draft. Let's build around Sam is better. Well, I don't know, Mike. Like I kind of disagree. Like if this is a losing season and you want to start moving people, especially if you moving people on defense and on offense. I mean, the defense hasn't been great, but they haven't been poor. But if you get rid of talent on that side, you get some rid of talent on this offensive side, Sam is not going to develop. He's not going to progress. That's just the the facts. And if they're sellers and getting rid of everyone, then Sam is probably more than likely not in the plans as being a starting quarterback here next year. But and I know Juan wants to keep Montez over Young. Some people wants to keep Young over Montez. That's the whole thing. They might trade both. They might trade one. It just depends how they want to look at the rebuild moving
The
forward.
thing is, you got to have a trade partner. For example, there's rumors about Young, but nobody's actually put any bids in. No offers.
Yeah, I think for Sweat,
Sweat there is.
Yeah, Nikki Javala said there was at least one offer in. Schefter confirmed
so
it.
That's why we all think Sweat's going to go rather than Young because of that. What Nikki Javala said. So, man,
it's the same thing with Payne too. I mean, last year Payne hauled out on trade rumors and he was going to get traded and all this other stuff, and he ended up not getting traded. So that's the flip side to it. So, it all hinges on this game. So since it all hinges on this game, what are some keys to victory for you, Scouts?
Well, we've got to do what we did when we played them the first time round. This season, we've got to start sharp. We've got to start very quick, and we've got to get 7. We got to take the lead in the game. Give our defense actually some time to, to kind of some points to play with, type of thing. Keep Jalen Hurts off the field as long as you can. I think that'll take their offense away. And then we've got chances, but everyone's got to do their job, as one would say. If everyone plays to the way we can play, then we'll have a really good game this week.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? If everyone can play, like for me, Irving Emi is not a coach that's going to try to hold the ball or have this, a time of possession type coach. He's not. He's about scoring the football, like you said a few weeks ago. Passing is what scores points. And he's going to pass the ball. He might run a little bit more. I know they activated Alex Armour, but they did that early in the year too.
Never used them.
Yeah, right? And they didn't use them. So, don't get too caught up on that. And he may run the ball more.
Change his game up, man. He really does.
He's still going to pass the ball.
He's got to change it up, man, because what he's doing at the moment.
I think he does, but
he's not. Go on, mate. Sorry.
No, you're good. And is he going to be stubborn? That's one thing that the guy last year.
He sounds like a guy like that. He would be stubborn, though. This is my way or the highway, So I can definitely see it. It's going to be interesting. I just think, okay. I know he wants to be a pass first team, but we've exactly what Michael says there. We've got to do better with the run game. We really do. We've got to create holes. And we've got to use B-Rob a lot more. We're not using them at all. We're using, I think last week he had 8 carries total. That's not going to win you games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, there's a lot on the play calling. I think that's one of the biggest problems of why we're inconsistent in games as well is play calling. So we need EB to create an actual decent game plan rather than just having these 15 scripted plays. Because if they don't work, like last week, our 15th offensive play was into the middle of the third quarter because we just didn't get any drives going. So that won't work. That won't work in games like that. You've got to change it up earlier. These things aren't working. Change it earlier. That's what you've got to do. You can't just stay to it and just hope that it works. You've got to have plan B, plan C. And that's what I've not seen from EB so far. So I'm hoping that he's got some sort of 2-3 different game plans planned for this game.
And that's the thing with last year with Scott Turner. It's like it wasn't working. So Ron, went into the office and said, hey, look, you got to change this up. We need to run the ball more. I'm quite sure that's what happened. I don't think no reports confirmed that. Maybe Ron said, I don't remember, but I don't have Ron doing that with EB. I don't have him doing that. I have him being more of a suggestion, you know what I'm saying, than what I think he did with Scott Turner last year. But even a lot of people say, well, you know, we're not, you know, the line is not blocking and this, that. Yeah, that's true. You know, there are no gaping holes. I think C-Rod is going to get a lot of work this week. Every time he touches the ball, he gets 4 to 5 yards, and his vision is much better. You can see it than B-Rob and Antonio Gibson. So I think he gets more looks. But even if you're not, like, you still have to run the ball. You still have to slow it up. Like, you just can't keep dropping this O-line back. You know what I mean? Like, just give them opportunities to go forward. Go forward, even if you're not creating you know, gaping holes. But I'd rather be, you know, 2nd and 8 than 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 15. I mean, I'm sorry, 2nd and 15 because of a sack, 2nd and 10. You know, so, you know, let's run the ball, slow the game up, push those you know, give those O-linemen a chance to move forward. And I think that'll help out. And another thing, even if we would do more of traditional West Coast, right? Because we are, you know, it's a West Coast system, but you don't really see a lot of the short game, quick game, which can be extensions of the running game. We don't see that, you know. So if we did more of that, then of course, you know, it'll look better. You know, you be down a distance, you'll be headed to chains, and you might not have, you don't have to run as much, but we're not doing that. So that's what's also confusing. You can, if you want to throw the ball, okay, cool, fine, but we need some of this short game.
We have to keep their defense, the opposing defenses, on the toes. If they know we're going to throw the ball like 90% of the time, well then they're gonna scheme up against the pass. Simple as that, isn't it? So, so we have to run the ball more, even just to keep the defense honest. It would be nice if we did some nice actual, you know, decent zone runs, you know, to the outside. That's where we kind of tend to be, because let's face it, our offensive line is just not that good. So it's you've got to try and get these guys open. Like, for example, second half of last week, we're talking about Sam Howell now, but rollouts, you know, moving the pocket rather than keeping it dead in the middle, because our center in the gate is god awful. So we just need a better balanced game plan, being honest. And yeah, I agree with Michael as well. We need to get Cole Turner involved, because unfortunately for Logan, you know, he's not. No, he's lost a step. You know what I mean, in his pace, in his speed, and you know, his blocking's never been good anyway. So yeah, I think we need to start giving the young lad a go and see where we go.
Yeah, and that's another thing when your season is looking like it's in the dump. You start going to the younger players. You know what I mean? So once you start going to the younger players, you know, and tend to get those guys some work. But you know, like Michael is looking for Cole Turner more. You know, it's about that time. It's about that time to go to Cole Turner more, because you want to start building, you know, to the future. And he's a guy that's going to be around, you know. So let's get him some snaps, see what he can do, and not wait too long like we always do. We always waiting too long. So now they don't have that chance to wait. This is why I'm so confused about the urgency with this defense, to not put in the younger players that you believe has potential. I mean, how much worse can Kaliki Hudson? Because all he's done is prove that he can play. Yes, he might overrun some coverages sometimes. He still may have a lot to learn, but he's been having an impact on the game when he's in there. I mean, he had a goal line stop a few weeks ago. He had pressures. He had a sack. So all of those things you could have been doing. But again, you wait till the last minute, and now you're probably not going to have a job to see how these guys actually still can move.
Yeah, man, I feel for him as well, because it's not like we've got, like, you know, Luke Kuechly playing for us and guys like that. Right. So, you know, I feel like he should be given more of a shot. I mean, I know he plays more where Jamin Davis normally plays, I think is he an outside backer? Isn't he?
No,
Mostly
he's a starting weak backer. So,
weak backer. Yeah.
and Jamin is the strong. So, but
Oh,
when
okay.
he's in, when Kaliki Hudson is in, they're at a 3 linebacker set.
That's right. Yes, you need three. You need to play 3 linebackers when you need to get him in the game. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should be doing that a little bit more anyway. We should be using a lot more of the Cinco package as well. We tend to do a lot. We tend to do well when we're playing in that kind of formation. So use that within the 3 linebackers, and then we don't need too many over the top because we're going to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, so they won't be able to do any kind of big time like deep balls and stuff like that. So I think we need to definitely mix it up, but we definitely need to get him in. Get Hudson in, man, because he has been producing when he does have a shot. I just feel we tend to like having the DBs coming down and playing a little bit of linebacker play and stuff. And I know I love Cam Curl. He's one of my favorite players. He's a great player, but I don't like him being down there that often because he's not built to be be doing 100 tackles a season. Do you know what I mean? So he'll get himself hurt. So and I don't want him being hurt. So I'd rather let him play standard strong safety. That's where he should be playing. But yeah, I mean that's on Del Rio, isn't it? I mean, I'm done on Del Rio anyway. I think he should have went after the Bears game personally, but it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. And Jason says, lose the delay handoff out of the shotgun, never works. Holes always collapse. And that play, it
yeah, it's awful.
It right, like it never works. The play action from the shotgun never works. Sam, but he's a young player too, so these things come with time. His play actions is not good at all. He doesn't handle the ball. I want to say properly, but he doesn't have any disguising with the ball movement on play action. So he's not fooling anyone, and we don't run the ball. So what's the point of doing these little play actions? And I don't get it, and this is why I'm so surprised about EB. Yeah, Mike. Yep, Mayo is starting. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, and that's
Cam Curl. Yeah, he is starting. Sorry, buddy.
The thing is, see, for me, I've had this kind of conversation with Kyle from the Burgundy Zone. About kind of this week. I think Goddard's going to kill us. I really do. I think because Mayo's playing, and they're going to just scheme it open. They're going to scheme open Goddard to put Mayo in coverage. You just know what's going to happen. And then Kyle's talking about kind of, well, no, Cam Curl probably be more that kind of thing and holding them with the tight end, which is true. But that means he'd have to be playing man rather than zone because obviously what you do, you just throw it to the opposite side of where Cam Curl is if he's on zone. So unless Del Rio wants to do a bit more man coverage, then, which he never does, by the way, or very rarely, it's sparingly when he does it, then Goddard's going to be up against Mayo at some point in the game in coverage, and Mayo's just going to get burnt. You know it. I mean, it's just guaranteed. I mean, he's okay in the run game and stuff like that, but I mean, in coverage, man, he is god awful, and people are going to take the mick. People are going to take advantage of it, just like the Giants did when he came in. They schemed open Waller against him. And he had a big 25-yard gain. Because coverage was just all over the gaff. You can't get anywhere. So for me, man, I'm worried, man. I'm worried about Mayo playing. I mean, yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yeah, he's going to get toasted. I mean, it's just known. Like he can see the play for sure, but he can't get to it. So Cam Curl is going to have the DAT today, so we're going to see what that looks like. I don't think Mayo's going to get a lot of burn though for some reason, because he knows his defense. He knows his defense back and front. I mean, he's been here the last few years, but they're going to give the DAT to Cam Curl because I think he's going to play. He's going to play the majority of his snaps. Yeah, you're right, Mike. Like Jabril Cox has finally been elevated from the practice squad, but he's been here like 5 weeks. Yeah. And they say this defense is, I guess, like you need a PhD to be able to play in this defense, and that's an issue also. You have
Why
to
make it
dummy
more
it
tough
down.
than it needs to be
Yep.
to learn? I don't understand it. Scott Turner was the same thing with his offense. It's ridiculous, man. It's like, what are you actually doing? Like, why are you making these things more complicated than it needs to be? And it's like they're trying to make themselves sound really smart to the
Right.
players. Like, look, we know what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, obviously you don't know what you're doing, because if you
Right.
did, we'd be a lot more consistent and we'd be actually in the playoffs regularly, but we're not. So you don't know what you're doing. You both need to go and see and let's see what, if we got any other young stud in the coaching staff at the moment, and give them a shot, especially a defensive coordinator. We need it, man.
We definitely gonna see. So I think all those guys are going to play. I think all those guys are going to play. We're going to see what they can do, but I don't think it's going to be enough, guys. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, you can't expect miracles from Jabril Cox. Like, I mean,
right.
He's only just got here 4 weeks ago. I mean, as I say, if the defense is hard to understand, like the wording of it and stuff, and the play calling, which is obviously going to be pants anyway because Del Rio's calling it. So it's going to be, I wouldn't expect miracles from him, to be fair.
I mean, you have any key matchups today? I mean, the weather is going to be great. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The Eagles has been owning us.
I mean, we pushed them hard. We pushed them hard this week when we played them earlier the season, but I think Ron should have went for it. Do you know one thing I've not seen her for a while is Riverboat Ron? I've not seen Riverboat Ron for a while. I've not seen him do anything kind of insane. Like, what are you doing this for? And I think that would have been a good one to do, to go for 2 against the Eagles, because let's face it, I think he said afterwards, our offense was basically like knackered, like totally like just running on empty when he scored that touchdown last second. Mm-hmm. So what do you go and do? You go, okay, then we'll put him into we'll kick the field goal and then go into overtime. Wait a minute, that means you got to drive down the field. Why didn't you just go for one play and see if you can get it in? If you get it in, you win. If you don't, you lose. It's simple as that. And no, it didn't make any sense. So, man, I just think Goldie's going to kill us. I do. I think he's going to. I mean, AJ Brown, you know what he's going to be about. And our cornerbacks just aren't good enough to cover him one-on-one. And you know what Del Rio is like? He doesn't give the actual cornerbacks any safety help over the top. It's very rare that he does. And we need to do that against AJ. We really do. And do you reckon we'll even see Forbes this week?
I think he got like 4 snaps last week. So
yeah, I mean, this is your first round pick, you know what I mean? But this is the problem with Del Rio going, okay, yeah, you can go one-on-one against like an absolute stud like AJ Brown. Mm-hmm. He got toasted, which is understandable. The guy is a rookie corner. Okay, he's talented, but he's a rookie corner up against one of the best receivers in the league. And if you got one-on-one all game, there was no help for him at all. So what are you expecting? You got to expect him to get smoked, and that's exactly what happened to him. And he's lost all his confidence, and now he's not playing. So. And that's on Del Rio. That's not on Forbes. That's on Del Rio, man. I mean, fuming, not happy.
Oh, boy. I don't really have any key matchups. My key matchups is our players versus themselves this week. Those are my key matchups. Are they going to come out and play? Are they not? Are they going to be distracted? And this is all coaching. And the coaching hasn't been good. And I think they will be distracted. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them not giving full go today. Trying to protect themselves, especially the ones that's potentially on a trade block.
Yeah, 100%, man. And this is why for me, I'd rather give, as you said before, give the younger guys a shot. The guys you're going to think, well, they're going to be here next week. Give them a chance to play the whole game or most of the game. And so, for example, like if Tez is going to be on his way out, give it to Tuhill or Smith Williams. You know what I mean? And just give them the starting role rather than like just the backup role coming in. Mm-hmm. I'd rather do that because for a fact that you go, well, do your job and you're going to be professional. But deep down, subconscious, you're going to go, you're going to make a business decision here on certain plays. It's as simple as that. And I wouldn't be playing any guys you're thinking you might be trading being on, no matter who they are, even if they're the studs, don't play them.
Yeah. If anyone in the comments want to give your score prediction, that's where we're headed. Let me see. This game will make and break Coach Ron. I think they already broken.
Yeah, they're gone, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're going to be gone at the end of the season, guaranteed, man. Yeah. Even if you
what might be determined is how we play, how the players play. If they play like they did against the Browns, which I think was the worst game in Ron's tenure here, even though we took a few blowouts, but I think that Browns game was his worst game because of the whole Heineke and the Wentz debacle. The game was I mean, before the game even started, the pregame was flat. From the fans was flat. Everyone just seemed like they were out of it, and the players on the field coming out, all that stuff. I think that was Chase's first game back. He didn't come out last. You would have thought that he'd get the crowd pumped. He would come out last on introductions. He didn't come out last. That game was just it was over before it started. I think that was the worst game of his whole.
100%. I mean, sure. I don't know how you.
Yeah, but I'm at 29-13 Scouts.
Ooh, I think it's going to be, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I think it's going to be tighter than you think, just because it is in division games, and there will be some motivation to it. I think we lose, obviously, but I do think it's going to be tighter. I think it'll be kind of like 27-20, something like that. 27-20 to lose by a score. 7 or 8 points lost, I think. Yeah, and yeah, and that's being optimistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, it's painful. Man. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful. I'm worried about it, but you just know this is a Washington thing. You just know that they might just show up and actually play well for a change, and Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah, 27-13. Yeah, I kind of made a joke on Twitter a couple of days ago about Larson, them benching Gates and bringing in Larson. I was like, well, look like Mr. Shin already at work. The new analytics guy.
Yeah.
Yes, people, I know he starts November 6th. Like, lighten up.
Yeah, but he's telling people now. Yeah, he's telling people now. He's like, hey, but 100%, man. I mean, if you look at want to look at the analytics, the worst the top 25, or should I say, the worst 25 offensive linemen in the NFL for giving up pressures. All 5 of our guys are in the top 25. Wiley's number 1, the worst in the NFL for giving up pressures. Gates is like 3rd. Best one's Leno, and the best one's Leno, and he's still like 23rd out of the worst 25 in the whole NFL. So the whole offensive line, how bad this offensive line is. If all those guys are giving up pressures exactly like that, so it's this is the reason why Sam Howell's getting killed. Yeah, he's holding on to the ball, but the thing is, it's like against the Giants, he had less than 2.2 seconds to throw the ball. As soon as he steps back, he's getting the guy hitting him. It's the offense is the offensive line's awful. I'm worried, man. I'm worried for Sam Howell's health. Never mind, and his mental state. I mean, let's face it. If you're going to be going playing every week, and you're thinking, "Gee, I'm going to get hit 10, 12 times in a game and hit hard," you don't want that. You don't want that kind of crap. You're gonna start seeing ghosts. You're gonna start seeing things like, oh no, it's yeah.
What's the over under for you for Sam? I don't know what Vegas number is, but I put the over under at 3.5 for sacks.
Oh, it's got to be over. I mean, that's not even a question, that man. You're talking minimum 5. This is the kind of average we give. It's around that kind of 4.5, 5 a game. So yeah, man. I mean, and everybody's a get right game against us. If you're a team who isn't attacking people, come to play us. we'll end up giving you 5 sacks for free. Yeah, I'll have a bit of that. So, yeah, I'm expecting Sam to be getting hit again and again and again.
Yeah, appreciate you, Michael. Come back, join us, comment with us.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you too. All right, Scouts. I think that's pretty much for me.
Yeah, man. There's the yeah, man. It's not going to be good, man. It's not going to be good. But as I say, hopefully we do a Washington thing and we show up and we actually do at least a decent performance. But yeah, I mean, I feel for the fans who go every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been like a couple of times, and I tend to go normally week 1 is the usual time I tend to come over, because obviously at that point the hope's still high.
Exciting.
You know what I mean? The hope's high, so players might actually show up. And yeah, and to be fair, they've not lost since I've actually been going for week 1. So
Yeah,
just saying.
That's true. Sure.
So, but yeah, man, it's yeah, I feel for the guys who got season tickets who go every week, who spend shed loads of money and see like performance like the Bears performance and.
Oh, that was ugly.
You know, I mean, that's prime time as well. It's even worse. You know what I mean? That everyone's watching you go, man, you are a bad football team, bro. You know, and then the people don't even know who you actually are. You know, because most of the time in the US, you can't get all the games, can you? So, you know, like for example, in the UK, it's a bit easier. You know, we can kind of stream
different games.
Every game. If you wanted to get. We could get every game in the US anytime, you know, live, like, you know. We have all the links to it. But obviously yourselves, you get blackout games and stuff like that, and you can't do this. And then if you're in a certain area, you can't get your game. You got to get somebody else's game. It's not good. I think that's awful. I think you should be able to get an actual season ticket, as in for your team, as in like not like go the game, but actually watch it on TV. You pay like for your team, rather than everybody's teams, you know what I mean? But yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a TV for you. And but yeah, man, it's been good, man. It's been good chatting.
Oh, I've been to ask you before we go. How was the experience? What game did you go to? You went to? Well, I know it was Jacksonville, but who was it against? Didn't you go to one of the games?
Oh, the UK game.
Yeah.
It was Atlanta. It was Atlanta.
That's right, Atlanta.
Yeah, the Atlanta game. Yeah, one of my friends is a good Atlanta fan, and that wasn't a good game. That was the week before we played them.
Yeah,
against the Jags. Yeah, and the Jags obviously, you know, give them a pasting. To be fair, Atlanta looked awful on that game, man. I mean, Ridder looked awful, but he played a lot better against us, which is obvious because you know what it's like. And even then, he wasn't great, but he's still a lot better than he was in the UK game. But the experience is great, you know, coming over, and it's definitely different compared to a US game, if that makes sense, because it's not just two fans of two teams.
Yeah, it's like
it's everybody comes together because it's it's just because we all love the game, even though it's not our team playing, but we love the game over here, and it's it's massive over here nowadays. Loads of fans. I mean, Jags are getting shed loads of new fans because of it, and against another reason why they want to be there every they're enough, So, and they're used.
I mean, before he spent so much money on a new stadium and stuff down there, we thought he was going to try to get over there.
That'd have been awful. I mean, I actually would have been upset. I would have been upset because
I know he's not.
Because it's not. The Jags. They just got no fan base, where we've got a massive fan base. We just don't show up because we've had enough of all the crap that's gone on for a long time. So it's different over there for us. And DC should always have a team because at the end of the day, it's the nation's capital as well. So it should always have at least one team, maybe even two teams. Really, New York have got two teams, even though technically they're not in New York. But so for we
they got three teams. They got three teams actually. Buffalo,
3 teams,
Canadian teams. You count Buffalo.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, so there's loads of teams. I mean, it's not for us, and that's nothing that winds me up about at the moment where we're based in. Obviously, we're based in Maryland, aren't we? Rather than actually in DC where we should be, because that's where we should be. We should be in DC. It's a Washington team. It's not a Maryland team. It's not a bloody, we're not Baltimore's best friends. You know what I mean? Like, so so that kind of winds me up as well. But again, the experience over here, say it's different. It's good. It's good. It's a lot more kind of lighthearted. There's not. I haven't seen too many fights, if that makes sense. Where every time I tend to go to a game in the US, there's always fights. and I think that's
I didn't
because
even know Curtis Samuel was hurt.
oh yeah, he's got a foot problem. He's a game time decision. To say he might not even be playing. So
Yeah, he's probably not playing.
if it's game time, he won't play. Yeah, so he's out. Obviously, our boy's out as well, isn't he? The high ankle sprain. What's his name?
Cody Barton.
Barton, that's the one. Yeah,
He's on IR. Him and
is he IR
Sadiq
now? Is
Charles.
he? Yeah. So
Him and Sadiq Charles. Yeah.
Is Sadiq on the IR? Right, okay, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I've said this for a long time. I mean, maybe not on this show, but I've said it in other shows. That's the problem with Charles. You can't rely on him because he's going to break down. I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised he lasted to week 7. So I was expecting like week 3 or 4 he'd be out by that with that calf injury. But yeah, man, who do you think's going to play left guard then today?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. I know Chris Paul was there battling all year. He wasn't on the active roster. That's because of position flex while Stromberg came in. So we'll see.
Because you're going to play Larson at center.
Yeah, I know Larson is starting
actually.
at center.
He's 6-1-1 as a starter for us.
He could never stay. He could never like when Chase Roulier get hurt, he come right in and it still flowed. Flowed.
He's a good center, Larson, but again, like you say, he's again injuries. You're worried when's his next injury going to happen, and it happens reasonably quickly. So 2 or 3 games, he's normally out. So that's the other problem with Larson. But he is a good center though. And I think so. For me, I don't really want to play Stromberg at guard because with Stromberg, man, I mean, he was the best college center, and he was a 4-year starter in the SEC. You've got the rewards for it as well. And what do we do? Oh, we'll play you left guard, mate. We'll play you. No, we'll play you as a. You see what I mean? Like, I understand the position flex, and there's not much of a difference between guard and center.
Terrible.
No. He's a center. Play him center, bro. If you're gonna play him there. You know. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I think Chris Paul should start at left guard, but it might be Stromberg after all.
Yeah. All right, guys. All of you out there, we appreciate you for joining. Appreciate you for watching. For getting up early with us. Juan, Mike, who else was it? Jason, Cash, all of you that are watching that didn't comment. We appreciate you for getting up with us. We will see you next week. I don't know if it's going to be about the draft or actual football. But again, thank you so much for joining us. Do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.